Oh, that was loud.
Okay, hello, welcome.
Infinite.
Oh, I've got the wrong thing on. Wait, hold on. I didn't realize that it was broken.
Oh no!
It's infinite.
Ah, infinite.
Oh shit! It's the back rooms.
I said your favorite word, the back rooms. There you
Oh
go.
god, it's Mr. Squiggles.
Jingle, jingle, jingle. Okay,
Okay, watch
welcome,
out, it's Mr. Squiggles.
welcome everyone to Weir of Adynn, session 58. I know it's been a while. We're back, huzzah. Um, there's not really much else I can say other than who wants to do a recap for what happened last session, as one of our players was not around last session and we need to kind of catch them up. So, who wants to do
Sorry, I
the...
didn't realise there was a whole area at the back of the map.
Yeah.
Has that always been there?
Yeah, that's always been there, but it's been covered until now, so...
Oh, okay. I was
It
gonna say, I
looks-
was like, am I really not that observant?
Looks like crew hangout. I love it.
You clearly do not have that high of a passive perception.
I really don't.
So, who wants to do the recap for this session? I could see that look on your face, Gabby.
Well, I mean, if no one else wants to do it.
Okay, I go out for lunch.
So,
Tell me what happened.
yeah, okay, great. So from the last session, so even before the last session, the session before, Karik meets Big Blue, and he told us in the morning that he may let us leave the spooky Mournhold Castle.
Yay.
So we're gonna try and make our way out of the castle. And it's very snowy, and we get lost for a bit because for some reason Dracera leads, and I forgot that leading meant that you have to choose survival. So Dracera uses the ye old pacification on the direwolf, and they try and go across the rickety bridge, which is harder than it was supposed to be. Which almost has Heliodor die, but because he wasn't here last session, that would be really mean.
Thank you for submission.
we we get across this very difficult bridge, and we huddle up, and Dylan asks if we were ready to go back. We appear back at Dylan's rest, and Clay is being Clay, and Wyn is a bit weirded out by the whole situation, and we realise that Wyn's necklace that keeps her calm has a crack in it. So already things are going shitty. So we go back to Dracera's house and we find Widow and Moss. And Widow has got a bottle of very old alcohol. Moss and Estella have like a little cute talk, and it's like so adorable. Dracera and Widow are sad old people together, and Moss kisses Estella's cheek. And then Estella's like, you know what? I haven't had enough trauma actually. So they summon their uncle, who is being cursed by Rosemanis with a wand device, which is a weapon from the Great War. It's called Nature's Reclamation. So, as far as we know, Nature's Reclamation turns people into like living trees, basically. They don't have a mind of their own. They're basically creating an army of tree people and invading all across the map. So he is basically, we figure out that, and at that moment, because I'm trying to figure out and ruin Toby's plans all the time, that they are currently in the same time zone as us. Because he can't really see, but he knows that it's daytime, which is the same time as us. But they are moved around all the time, so they're not going in a clear direction. They're going and dropping in and out of different places. Basically, Hale and Estella's home have been taken over by these tree people, and they're choosing people specifically who were warriors or fighters in their previous lifetime. So they are trying to invade a city. So that's why all these people are going missing in all these different towns, is because they're building an army. At that current time, they were in a town that has mixed. It's not like an all dwarven town. It's humans, dwarves, elves, whatever, and it's by the sea. So we are hopefully going to check Padslow soon because this seems a little bit. It seems familiar. And basically, Rosemanis creates tears in reality in order to get to these places. And Formus, who is Estella's uncle, keeps telling us just to run, which would be great if they didn't teleport everywhere, but that's fine. And Estella is like, they're broken, and that is when we teleport back to Arda, and here we are now.
Yay!
Nice. God, I forgot most of that, so thanks for reminding me.
I watched the episode yesterday, and I was sat here just listening to trauma happening. And I was like, oh my god!
It's fine. Heliodor was off. Like, I don't know, being in the corner, in the corner of the room, more focused on like putting shit together, and Clay was shit faced outside, so we're all good.
Repairing rust damage on there, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So you guys have landed back in Arda, and you have made your way down through the hidden entranceway. Down into the sort of entranceway of Arda. All of you have been here before, so it's becoming a somewhat familiar sight to Heliodor, but it's already a familiar sight to the rest of you.
Welcome back, Clay.
Clay, it's a comfort to be back in some regard because it's normality, and that's good, thank God. But it's quiet. You can hear kind of the distant chatter of people as they go about their business. What are you guys up to?
Who did we need to talk to?
Probably the administrator first.
Were we being cautious with what we say to the administrator? Was the administrator...
They're
Was
all
it
under
the
suspicion, babes.
Oh,
Sort of.
great. Okay, so...
Are we still out of character on acting on the racism thing?
Yes, there is suspicion. Suspicion was the
Well,
Was
is
that-
the
was that-
administrator the
did
only
we invent-
elf?
Did we invent that?
Oh, the
Or-
administrator's the elf. Sorry, yes, no.
It's the only
never mind.
Eladrin.
Eladrin.
Interesting. Okay,
Right.
so they are. Okay,
She's not an elf, she's an Eladrin.
okay.
Okay.
So she's the only Eldrin.
Why are we basing it off racism again?
Because we found out that there is a spy in Arda,
Mm.
and they're the only member of their race in Arda.
So basically, whoever's a minority in order.
Whoever's
I think as a
only one
party
of
we
their
kind of
race
took
in.
that, and ran with it a bit. But
So
I'm not
everybody
saying anything because you guys are fucking insane, and I'm just kind of like, well, if you want to be racist, fucking
It's not
whatever.
gonna be- it might not be Verve, and it might not be Mirrors, because there's two of them.
do they count as minority then if there's two of them?
We need to.
I'm in agony already. I missed this. Good God.
Well, I'm a bit sus. The assistant is the main thing. Also, the administrator running shit. They could easily, you know, be running Arda and also being a villain.
Is the administrator the only Eladrin?
Yeah.
The Eladrin, the one with the two pupils?
No, that's an
No,
Asmoth.
that's
That's
Asimov.
the Asmoth, sorry.
So we've got two Asmoths at the moment.
There are a variety of other people in Arda that you seem to be
the lady-
pinpointing. So I'm like,
Okay.
well,
Who's that lady who was really nice and soft?
Palos.
Halo.
There we go.
Oh my god. Toby, if you've done that, that's fucking wild, mate.
I'm not saying anything.
Palos?
Wait, look me in the eyes and say that Palos is not a spy.
I would
I'm not
try.
telling you anything.
Oh!
A red
He
spy.
is too nice, actually. I'm writing that down.
You're sus.
Right, any second now.
I'm sus of everyone.
A red spy is in the base.
Okay, so we're going to go talk to the administrator and say what?
Well, we got Clay back.
We're
Um,
alive.
I feel like that one's a given, but the other bits, like about going north, about the army of tree people.
The army of teleporting tree people.
Teleporting tree people who seem to be slowly making their way towards the world warp. Do
When
we
they
tell
said
her that?
when they said the Ents were going to war, this wasn't what we were expecting.
Do I have friends
I'm so stressed.
around? This is very stressful. I also have. So I want to go to the world warp at some point and potentially get up to the ring because that was a plan we had. Because I also have some ideas about some research to do, specifically about angels. And I feel like that's probably going to be the best place to do it.
I mean, the next course of action is going to see Karik's family.
True. That one's up.
Yay.
This one is a back burner. We deal with our stuff.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, it also reminds me.
It's your family, bro.
And
No,
Heliodor
that was
has
the part you said about the back burn, was it?
Heliodor also has a quick look over Wynn's necklace and to see how it's holding up.
Investigation check, please.
Woo! I can use my intelligence again. Investigation. That one. Normal. What I get? Fuck. 17.
That's not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
There is no difference to it from when you last looked at it. There is
then
still a
look-
hairline
look-
thin crack, but
Uh-huh.
other than that, it doesn't seem to have gotten any worse.
Okay, cool. ARDA has resources I can borrow, use, right? Just looking at the rest of the group, like, I can nab amethyst from them, right? And also, like, yeah, right?
Any luck, we won't need to for much longer.
Ooh, but it's best to have a backup just in case. Also, it means I can fix Karik's necklace for his wife.
Whilst you guys have been talking, Estella and Thumb have vanished.
Oh, shite. Let the child go! Anyway, well, right. Okay, anyway, so I can get some resources from here.
Thumb. Thumb.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it.
Thumb seems
no,
excited to be home.
I chased after him.
He's running rampant like a toddler in in the corridor.
I think we should send him in first.
What,
With a
Thumb?
knife?
The only
Yeah.
survivor. The only survivor.
Yeah, we send him through to the office first.
Do we need to tell someone we're on our way, or do we just... Oh, you just go. Okay, right.
Okay, Thumb, do you want to knock on the door for me?
Okay. Thumb
Really loud thump.
Thumb takes both hands and starts ramming them on the door as loud as he possibly can. And there's a silence for a few moments. You can hear like quiet sort of muttering from inside before you hear come in.
I open the door for Thumb.
Thumb goes barreling inside.
Wow. Sounds like a tortoise just got speed when it needs it.
As you walk in, you are immediately greeted by the administrator sat behind a desk, as per usual, and the assistant, who has stood in front of it with a handful of paperwork, and she turns around to you and starts beaming. Oh, I wasn't expecting to see you just yet. I'm so... Oh, you're alive! And she starts, like, grinning and kind of moving between each of you and, like, grabbing you into a hug. Do any of you try and resist the hug?
No.
No.
Heliodor takes a hug.
Okay. She gives you all, like, a big, cozy hug, as much as her teeny weeny little frame can hug each of you. She hugs Thumb. And she kind of gets a bit nervous at Heliodor and kind of offers you a hand instead to shake hands.
Heliodor takes the hand, shakes the hand, and then goes, "I have something I made that I'd like you to have a look at," and kind of like nudges towards Wynn.
As
Yeah.
the assistant looks past where you're pointing towards Wynn, she kind of meets Clay's gaze. You're alive. Where have you
What the fucking
been?
kill?
Where have you been?
Remind me how tall is the assistant?
She's about 4 foot.
Oh, okay, so he's looking down. Okay, cool. Clay sort of rubs his head a bit. Some fuck off cold place called Wintry.
Her eyes widen as much as her facial features allow. You were in another plane of existence.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
She starts kind of shuffling around on the spot. That's so exciting. Oh, and you came back and you're alive. That's so amazing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She's
And
gonna
he sort of
try and hug
looks to
you.
this other party. Oh, she hugs him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll embrace that. He'll embrace that.
Hugs. She hugs you quite tightly. She's like, I missed you.
Thank you. I didn't think I'd see anyone again, really. The rest of the party found me, but themselves gone fuck nowhere to try and get me back. So I say, all of you.
And she smiles and reassures you that you're safe in ARDA. It's a home. It's a home away from home. And she kind of gives Wynn a bit of an awkward smile and tries to offer her hand out, and Wynn just sort of looks at her. She kind of clears her throat. Okay. And she'll make her way back up to the administrator's desk and kind of put all the papers down. That she seems to have been spilling everywhere. Every time she's hugged someone, she's dropped papers. She's making a mess. The administrator smiles at each of you and welcomes you back, kind of opened arms. It has been quite some time, it seems, especially for you, Mr. Clay.
I'm told it was that time's fucked there. It's longer for me. Is that right? And he's looking to the party for confirmation or denial.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
How long do you think you were gone?
Fucking ages.
You certainly look it, if you don't mind me saying.
None taken.
She kind of gestures to the beard. Well, at the very least, you are back home and safe, and she kind of observes Wynn with a bit of a squint. In good company, I assume.
Yes, Wynn's still with me.
Is it safe to have her like this?
Time being.
Just grinning.
She's Elidor, one of your lot, seems to have done something with her to help keep her tethered, keep her, I don't know, focused on the now and not on the anger. I'm hoping it's. So I just noticed the token glows. That's cool. So I think it was
Pretty.
Hopefully that's a short-term thing. Hoping we can help Win in a bit more of a permanent way soon.
The assistant
fun.
looks like she wants to say something, but she's just like like biting a lip type.
Yeah, so that's what he says.
I'm helping with that. and she kind of smiles. It's like, I made something to help fix that. That's what I was working on. And the administrator kind of pouts the thing that exploded. She goes, yeah. Right.
I'd love
okay.
to have a look over it with you.
I can't wait to show it off. And she's like shaking around in the seat. She cannot seem to stand still. And Thumb seems to be taking on her energy and is also just kind of wiggling. Because he's just excited that someone else is excited. Wynn is just kind of watching the room, watching the administrator quite closely. Just staring at her from her position next to you. The administrator kind of stands up from her seat and makes her way around to greet you properly. This is one of the few times that she's left the desk. And she stands in front of you and kind of pulls a few things out of a pouch on her side. We were expecting you to come back a little earlier, but I wanted to first off, and she moves towards Heliodor and offers you a copper arm bracelet with the symbol of ARDA on it. I'd like to offer this to you in case you would be interested in working for us maybe a little more as a freelancer, if you're interested.
I am. However, I do. There are stipulations I can talk to you about later.
She frowns a slight, passes you the bracer. This is simply for getting in and out of ARDA. The doors won't open unless you wear one of these.
Oh, fine. I'll talk to you about it later.
She passes it off to you. And then to each of you, she gives you a small sort of ring of metal with flat plates of which are 100 pieces of platinum, and passes one of them to each of you. This is your pay for the fact that you've been on the field for such a long time, and a bit of a bonus for some of the things that I've been told that you've been up to.
Up to how much?
100 platinum each.
Which is
Holy fuckeroni.
which is fucking hell.
I will be upping your pay to 3 gold a day on the field, and obviously if you do certain dangerous missions, there will be a bonus that will be included. But you've become very valuable members of ARDA, and we would like to keep you, and you should be rewarded for such work.
Clay ponders, just to himself for a moment, if he should ask for the fact that he's technically been on the job for an extra 8 months.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very fair stipulation. To be fair.
He decides against it. He's reformed a little bit, but he does stand there and think about it thoroughly. He has technically been working 3 times longer than everyone else.
Mate, there's overtime, hazard pay, there's like late hours, unsociable hours.
How many holidays?
How much holiday do you get?
Been working weekends.
She also passes. The administrator also passes a little bag of 10 silver pieces to Thumb.
Oh,
Yes.
And Thumb like holds it and looks up at Estella. It's just money.
Money. Yeah.
Because I work.
Yeah. You did a good job. Money.
And Thumb's just kind of like shaking the bag and it's like jingling and he's like excitedly jingling.
Child a bell.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to get Thumb's Play-Doh or something.
A fidget toy.
Something to keep him occupied. She steps back. And she bows quite graciously to all of you. And the assistant follows her in turn. Both of them bow and say, we thank you for the work that you've done. You've saved countless lives and you've given us many leads of which we have been able to pursue and got more information on our enemies. As it stands, from what I hear, you may have more that we are not aware of.
How so? How so?
From where you've been, simply if you've been in a different plane, I'm sure there's some information that the assistant would be interested in knowing. And the assistant just
you're
nods, like, yeah.
Wintry. We can tell you about snow and the wintry and stuff. Yeah.
Do you have any other news on the Harbingers? Anything you've heard of? You're all awfully very quiet. I can understand. She points at Clay. I can understand you not
Yes,
knowing.
I don't really know much about fucking anything.
All we know is we're following a couple leads. We don't want to give you information that we find out is false. We're going to follow a couple more leads, and then we can come back to you with more information.
And we have a feeling that we are being watched at times. So
I have a feeling you've seen the fucking ball.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. But what I'm worried about is sharing this information to people, and then it spreads even further than it already has.
What is said in this room stays in this room.
I personally would prefer to confirm some of our leads before giving you information that may or may not be true.
Make a persuasion check at advantage, because Dracera's backing you up. So go on.
I'm not very good at this.
Sorry, I've realised apparently I can have another spell.
Wait, what?
And you just haven't picked it.
Yeah.
Okay, well maybe do
On my
that.
sheet, I was like 7 out of 8. What do you mean?
Persuasion.
Did I lose one?
What level are you? What
Why
class?
can't I
10
can't-
paladin.
I can't scroll to my persuasion bits. Frustrating. Oh, there we go. Okay, boom. Normal. Please be nice.
What was it? Advantage?
Oh, that
At
was
advantage,
advantage.
yeah.
Advantage.
You're gonna need it. Good God.
And then, please.
The administrator pulls a face, but she nods reluctantly. She goes, "All right, if you believe that to be the best course of action, I have faith in you as a team, and I have faith that if there is any information that is pressing, that you would tell me."
Of course. I think that my
Someone's
information
gonna
is
cast
quite
a message to
pressing.
Sarah.
Hmm?
They're gonna cast a message to this.
Yeah, you want a message to Sarah? Okay.
Can I ask for people to help search for my mother?
Yeah. She gives a nod over.
Yeah. And so it's gonna go to look at the administrator. Is it possible if we find a team to go into the Underdark? Because we need to find a missing person.
She pouts. Specifically the Underdark.
That's where they said they most likely think they are in.
Right. Who are we looking for specifically?
They look a lot like me.
A family member.
Yeah.
And she looks at the assistant, and the assistant nods and goes, "I can organise something for you. I'm sure I can find. There's plenty of people that are doing not as much as they should be doing. So I'll get some people going. Don't worry.
Okay.
If you do you have any paintings or drawings or any description you can give us of this person?
Can you cast illusory spells?
Minor
Alright,
illusion.
Can
Yeah.
you create an illusion
I
of
can.
her? Nice.
Yeah. I
Okay.
can do that.
So you create. Are you using minor illusion?
Yes. Right?
I think you can do that. Yeah.
Oh, I'll stop. There you go.
Yeah, you've got minor illusion. Yeah. So you cast minor illusion in front of you, and you create this flat
Big
2D image of your mother. As you last saw her. So she is tinted a little green, but for the most part, it's quite easy to figure out like shape and details, etc. What she was wearing, what her hair looked like, etc. And the assistant pulls a little notebook out of a pocket on her belt, starts scrawling something down. Okay, so your mother? Question mark. Okay, yeah. I'm sure she can't be that hard to find, right? So you know that she's alive.
Yes, she is.
Okay. Okay. It seemed like she was going to say something and kind of trailed off and realised that maybe that's not a good thing to say to a small child.
What?
You can insight check.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not sure you want to make that instant.
Oh, where's my... Oh, wait. Oh, wait, where are my stuff?
Be in your sheet. You can double click on your token. It should open your
Yeah,
sheet.
that's the only way I could find it. Insight. There you go.
Nice.
Okay.
What?
What? The assistant looked like she was going to say, "Let's hope she's not dead by the time we get there," kind of situation. It's it was a bit like a okay, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut type situation. So she goes, okay, yeah, we can. I'll get Miris to help me organize something, and we'll get a team of maybe like say five people. It's gonna take a little while to get to the Underdark because we don't really have an access point from here. We have to go up. Will take a little while, but we'll get there. And we'll get them to report in as soon as they know. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The assistant then points at Clay. She's like, "Your chalk's ready."
Thank you.
Took
Thank you.
far too long. I I blew up the lab more than once, but I made it, and it didn't explode this time. And I've got it in a jar to make sure it will not explode.
Fucking fantastic. And he sort of looks to Wynn. Like, you hear that?
She looks at you with this kind of blank expression.
Good.
Thank you.
The administrator moves back to her spot behind the desk and offers, if any of you wish to speak to me privately, then you're welcome to do so whenever I'm in the office, if I'm not already occupied. There are a few people here who I'm sure would be excited to see you well. Though from what it seems, she sort of looks at the assistant. You have plans.
I mean, but who doesn't? This organization is literally built on making plans, right? Like,
For the most part, I would expect that you would be taking a rest after your travels, but
if we rest, we have to think about things, and thinking about things is not our forte.
God, that really fills me with hope. She's
So glad.
Mm.
Anyway, yes, I would like to have a conversation with you, and also, assistant, I would like to have a conversation with you as well.
Okay. And the assistant says that she'll, if you want to speak to her, she'll be in her quarters, which is just to the side, like the office. And she decides to kind of make her way down there now. So if any of you want to do anything else, she kind of nabs Karik on the shoulder and says, "I need to talk to you as well."
No.
Oh,
How many conversations?
okay. Go.
So she heads off to just inside her quarters. What are the rest of you doing? Are you staying in here with Heliodor, or?
I want to go meet friends.
You can go see friends!
Yeah,
My friend.
my friends.
Okay. What's Estella doing?
I want to meet friends too.
You two are going friend hunting with Thumb. Heliodor, are you staying in here to speak to the administrator?
Yes.
Okay. Clay and Wynn, what are you doing?
I think at first they might take a stroll around ARDA just to remind themselves of it.
Okay.
But otherwise, I guess, psyching themselves up for potential thingy-majiggles. If they have the, and then I guess maybe trying to see if who was the one who acquired the eye?
Sadia.
Oh, okay. Was anyone else be present then, or?
Estella was present when that eye was bought.
Okay, so you might need to double check something with them about that, but they can do their thing first.
Okay, cool. And Karik, what are you up to?
Krieg was hoping to deliver a message to Dai. So he might be finding a quiet place to do that, so maybe his quarters,
Okay, yeah.
something like that.
Okay, so we'll start off with Heliodor's conversation with the administrator, while the rest of you bounce off and go and head out to do your own little things.
Heliodor's conversation will not take very long at all. It doesn't even really need to be role played. It's just Heliodor is going to stipulate that he will not make anything that is specifically made, that is made from within the city of Violet Gold. None of those plans will ever be released. None of those plans will ever be made, and will only make things. Will only make things for ARDA if they have come up with the plans or have asked him to, or have commissioned him for the plans.
You're effectively signing an NDA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The administrator agrees to those terms, but she states that your skill set is not why we would like you to work for ARDA.
Yeah. Okay.
It is a benefit, but it is not why we have chosen you.
Okay. Cool. And then
Your perfect sacrifice material.
Oh,
We're
God,
going to be
no.
sacrificed. It's the administrator.
Okay.
And then Heliodor would like to ask for access to a library, and also a workshop.
The library, she points out to you, if you're on the map, the library is here.
Wait, hold on, I'll zoom out. Again? Oh, right, cool.
So that is the library, and you have unlimited access to it as you would so like as a member of the ARDA team. And a workshop, if you speak kindly to the people in the forge, I'm sure they would be quite happy to let you use their space.
Delightful. Okay, that's me then. Do you have resources here that I can use as well? For instance, amethyst and so on.
I'm sure that we could find something. We have plenty of things in the vault.
Fantastic. I shall go and speak to the forge people then. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant day. And Heliodor will take his leave.
Okay. So we are going to check in with the rest of the party other than Karik. because Karek is off writing letters, I assume, or communicating with his wife. So we'll get to that in a wee bit. The rest of you are kind of out in the corridor. Where are you going?
I'm searching for Zachary because the last time we saw them, they had a broken leg.
That's what I was thinking.
Feel kind of bad about it.
Fair dues. You can go looking for them.
Yeah. Skibbity beep bop beep.
So as you make your way into sort of the large training room, you've been in here a few times before, mostly with Miris. You see Zach with a cast on their leg, an axe over one shoulder, and they seem to be sparring with someone.
I thought you meant to give those things time to heal.
Zach looks over to you and beams. Maybe. But it's fine. Like it don't hurt that much. It hurts a little bit, but it's okay. Verv's taking care of me.
Verv.
Behind him is an Asmoth sat in a chair, who is just sat there, like, doesn't know what's going on around them. They're just sat on this wooden chair, and they're just kind of half keeping an eye on Zach as much as a blind man could keep an eye on you.
Do they know that he's fighting?
Don't worry. I've got
Probably
like
not. Yeah. At the mention of their name, they kind of lift a hand, but they don't look in your direction. They just kind of are staring forward towards where Zach is, and they kind of wave.
Verv, there's someone here to see you as well.
That makes it sound like I'm, a patient on my deathbed. But what?
Not intended to be that way, Verv. Sorry.
I have a visitor.
Yes, well, I don't think he knows you're here.
Well, if Zachary is here, then so am I. So and they kind of pout.
Clay doesn't know Verv is here. We've got to reunite them!
Reunite.
He would be looking for it.
So, Clay, you've seen the other two kind of walk off in this direction. Would you have followed them, or?
If they'd gone off together, he wouldn't have followed them. No.
No. So you've gone off wandering. Verv seems none the wiser. They kind of shrug and look around. I do not see anyone new in here other than you.
Well, we've just come back from mission and we got Clay back.
Kind of sit up a little straighter. What do you mean back?
He was sent to a completely different plane and we risked our lives to go and get him, so...
They just try and process that for a moment.
Yeah, I know it's very difficult.
It's like, you just pulled that out of your ass, okay. They frown. Okay. And is that like a normal Tuesday afternoon for you? Or what?
They'll be able to feel his face, and like the big beard probably doesn't know that he's grown that.
Wait, can Verv actually hear what Stella's saying?
No, they're speaking to like Sarah.
Okay.
No, because Verv can't see the Stella.
Can't see signs.
Yeah. So the face, the beard.
But Zachary, maybe don't get the guy who can't see to watch what you're doing.
No, that's kind of the point. Verv goes, what?
Okay, you need to stop. You need to stop. You need to stop.
I'm fine. No, seriously, look, and they kind of like they lean
no,
on
no.
the cat's leg.
No.
And I can put the hands up and go, see?
Can they roll for me? I want to see if they fall over.
They rolled a 19. They're good.
Oh, he stands.
I'm fine.
Okay, you got lucky this time, but don't do that again. Don't do that again.
They laugh and they kind of put the axe down, and wave off the guy they were training with, who kind of goes, yeah, sure, and heads off to go and train with someone else. And Zach comes over and gives you a hug.
No. Hug.
It's been a
Reaches
really,
up.
really long time. Where have you been? Because last time I saw you, we were in a cave.
And then we put you in the bottle.
And then I got put in a bottle, and
Yeah.
there was a cat there, and then you got to wait.
Yeah, there was a cat, and then we sent you here. What? Why do I want to exit? There was a cat, and then we went off to the forest, and then we got sent to another realm, and then we got clay back from the realm, and then we came back here.
I don't know what that means, but that sounds great.
Yeah, it was fun.
You had a great time. I'm glad to see you're okay.
Yeah, we saw this thing. It's called snow.
Snow.
It's frozen water.
Frozen water.
Yeah,
Like
it's
ice.
amazing. Absolutely, yeah, kind of like ice, but like crunchy.
It felt like
Ice
we
is
were
crunchy.
walking
Have you
away.
tried to chew ice? It's crunchy.
Just Sarah gives her best version of a frown.
It's like chewy, crunchy.
Yeah.
Crunchy,
I don't
munchy,
think I've come across
crunchy.
I don't think I've come across that much ice to chew it.
Yeah, like when someone does a spell and there's like crunchy, it's like when it kind of hangs from the ceiling and then you break it off and eat it. I've done that. And they
I don't
can't.
think
They
I've
just
ever done
grin.
that.
They just grin at you with this dumbass expression.
Never change, Zach. Can I see?
I mean, I could. What do you mean? Like, do you not like my clothes?
She just slaps him on the arm. And then, like, no, not at all.
Okay,
Just
I'll wear
pats him on
something.
the arm.
I'll wear something different next time if you like.
Okay. When was the
Okay.
last time you changed your clothes?
A
Oh, don't answer that.
Okay.
No, don't answer that.
while ago. That's fine though, like, because it doesn't smell too bad.
Can I do a smell check?
A smell check. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just roll me a d20.
Okay, hang on.
For someone without a nose.
Yeah. 12.
Druida can't smell.
She can taste.
See what?
I can taste the
Shall
smell.
shall I do the roll for smell?
Yeah, you can describe it to me.
Okay. No.
That's a good smell. That's a good whiff.
Okay. I mean, currently currently they just smell like sweat.
Mom says they smell like sweat.
Yeah. Well, Thumb can't smell either. But it's fine. You rolled. That was a U because it was just
Yeah.
a d20. Yeah. No, they just currently smell like sweat.
Okay. Sweat.
Not pleasant, but
Salty. There you go.
salty. Gross.
So, did anything interesting happen while we were gone?
I got to dig a hole.
I need a bit more than dig a hole.
The little guy with the wooden arm, he came in and he asked me if I would help him dig a hole because your spider body needs somewhere to put people, and they said that they needed like a hole rather than a room, so I dug a hole.
How big was this hole?
It was a big hole.
How many people could fit in this hole?
10.
That's pretty big.
It's a pretty big
Wow.
hole. Yeah.
Wow.
It was fun. I had a great time. So we dug a hole.
Yeah.
He's just grinning. Like, they're just grinning at you like they just had... That's the best thing that's happened to them.
You ready to meet some spider people?
I already met one. He hangs
Yeah,
out
but a
with
big
you.
spider person.
Okay. Well, like, bigger than me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would so you dug a hole knowing it was for spider people, but not the wider context, Zachary. I don't know why I'm interrogating you. I don't see the point.
Okay. Well, but I dug a hole. That's all I got to do because they said I had to rest the rest of the time.
Great.
I don't know what you were expecting. This man's an idiot. Okay.
Yeah, but we love him. He is talking utter shite. That's on my notes now.
Yeah, can I ask a quick question again?
Go on.
What is Zach's intelligence score again? I really want to know because I forgot what it was beforehand. I really want to know.
I believe it's a 7, so a -2.
What is it you need to
Wow.
read and write?
6.
Like, oh.
Zach is a thembo to the extreme. they are a person. Barely, but they're a person. Close enough to a vegetable, not quite. Sentient enough that they like to hit things and dig holes.
He shares more DNA with a banana than he does with a regular person.
Yeah. Yeah. Verve is still sat on the chair. Good. Every session you drop something.
Look, my left,
You okay?
my left mouse is not fucking working. I can't move.
I'm glad Zach is okay.
Next time you guys are going somewhere, you're gonna let me know, okay?
Yeah.
We'll let you know, but we can't promise that you'll come along.
No, I'm absolutely coming.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not.
You're not gonna, you're gonna stop me.
Yes.
Are you challenging me?
Yes.
Uh-huh,
Oh.
alright, yeah, okay, alright. He kind of,
Fast, fast,
he
fast,
gives
fast.
you like the side eye, just like, give me like, I don't know how long it takes for this to fix itself, but once this is fixed, then I'll go beat your ass.
Sure.
Roll me an intimidation check.
I don't know why it's not letting me move my map, but that's fine. I did spill a drink, so, you know,
Oh, rip.
I'm not mad about it.
And that one.
Wait, can I? No.
Are you
I
gonna
will
use
my
your
inspiration. Because I never use it.
Okay, go on then.
The perfect time, yes.
Yeah, sure. You're definitely not gonna need it later in the session.
Yeah!
Okay. Zach kind of like pouts a little and he's like, okay, you didn't have to go that hard, but okay.
You upset their him,
That was totally worth it.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll definitely fight you, but only when I'm better. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can I go back to doing my things now, or are you gonna join me, or I don't know what you want to do.
You should rest.
Yeah, you should.
Sorry, little guy. Sorry. No.
Yes.
I'm fine. See, I'll prove it again. Wait.
Oh god.
He leans on his leg, a little, like on the cast leg again, and this time it kind of wobbles. And they pull a little bit of a face. They're like, see, it's fine.
Rest.
Okay, maybe a bit. And they decide to kind of take a seat next to Verve. As they sit on the floor, they are the same height as Verve. In a chair. Verve is quite small.
I thought Flash was tall. They give tall energy.
they're like 5'5".
Oh.
Aww.
Oh, me.
You guys are mean. Estella, Palos is just sat against the wall in conversation with somebody, and they wave in your direction, but they seem to be deeply entranced with whatever they are speaking to this other person with currently.
Can I listen in?
It's mostly from what it sounds like. That person is explaining some personal troubles to Palos, and Palos is offering support,
Okay.
but doesn't want to disturb that currently.
Yeah.
With that, we're gonna head back to Kari. So, Kari, you have gone back to your room. It is just as dark and dingy as you remember, and it is pleasant.
Just like home.
Just like home. What are you up to?
I know he's had the description of the spell, like how much you can talk using through it. You did ask for. I'm pretty sure you did ask for like a description to show how to use the chalk, didn't you?
I do believe it's been explained to you how to use the
Yeah.
communication chalk. Yeah.
It's only because I was looking at the actual chalk itself, and I was just thinking, the user must make a DC 15 Arcana check. I was like,
I mean, you'll still have to
Boy.
make it, but the DC will be lower.
That's
So
fair.
roll me an Arcana.
Let's see. Attributes. Oh wait, no, I wrong thing.
Nice.
Okay.
I make.
You make it. Yeah, you do. So
Yeah.
you draw it out
Perfect.
based on the sketch that Estella has done
Yeah.
for you of what the sigil looks like, and it begins to glow.
So he kind of waits a second, but he goes, Daddy, don't be alarmed. He's Krieg. I talked through a spell. I'm coming home. I'm bringing friends I tell about. We come soon.
Okay. You hear a quiet. Kari, my love. It is so good to hear your voice. I want you to come home soon, okay? The babies miss you.
And you'll have to cast it again then, because that was the 25
Yeah.
words. So, let's hope for best. Or in fact, wait a second, there was another. With advantage if cast before, okay, so the second time he gets advantage with.
Yeah.
Yay!
Huzzah!
Hell yeah!
Okay, give it a crack.
So second message will be, I will come to entrance. You will know my scent. I will call for you when we arrive. Love you!
You hear, but you are coming soon. Are you coming soon so I can see you again? And the children really miss you, and I love you. And it cuts off.
Oh god.
She doesn't know how the spell works,
Yeah.
man. She's just gonna keep talking. She thinks that she's talking to you.
Yeah, no, I was beforehand. I'd written out messages, but I hadn't written out like individual responses in between those messages because he's only got a limited amount of uses.
Yeah.
Sick. You know what?
We all wait patiently for an answer.
Sorry.
Desperate typing says so much.
Sadness.
Okay. This will be his last response because this will be a full use of.
It's a full use of the chalk, yeah. Is that at advantage?
That's at advantage.
Okay, it glows.
Yeah. We will come to entrance at midday. Cannot say exactly when. Tell little ones I love them so much. I love you so much.
And there was a pause before you hear her say, I will make sure that the house is nice and clean. I want to be ready to meet your friends. I am excited. I love you too.
I know Greek has just got to kind of sit there, just kind of sad that it's over as quick as it is, but kind of just like savouring the memory of the voice. As he's probably just going to sit there and go into depression for a little while. To be
Yeah, he just has a bit of a sad ass moment.
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay, so Karuk has contacted his wife. Heliodor. After your conversation with the administrator, where are you heading next?
Probably the assistant.
She's in her office, so...
Knock, knock.
Come in.
And Heliodor goes in, leaving Mare outside.
Okie dokie. The assistant is sat at her horrendously messy desk, next to the very neat desk of Chorus next opposite her. And she beams at you. Hello, Mr. Heliodor.
Hello, assistant. I was wondering if I might be able to have a look at that thing you've made for the win.
The chalk.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. She pulls out a drawer on the side of her desk and then does something inside the drawer.
Okay, cool.
So what it
She's
looks
not just
like
got
is that
chalk in her drawer.
she's pulling out the drawer and then clicking. It sounds like a key inside the drawer, and a section of the desk on the side pops open, and she leans around the side, and pulls out this jar that from the inside has been completely padded around, but you can see the tip of this little cylinder of green chalk.
Right.
She puts it on the table.
Didn't it explode several times?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Is there a safe environment that's not filled with paper that we can have a look at it with?
So, I was planning on using it as soon as I found Clay again, but now Clay's back, we can go and do the ritual. And I'd really like to be there, just to see it work. Just because I spent so much time making it, and I really want to see it work.
I understand completely. We'll have to talk to Clay about that, because Clay may want other things for the departure of his daughter. But we can have that conversation, I'm sure. I was wondering if you could tell me how it works.
Let me scrub back through my notes.
Yeah! Heliodor is very excited. The player is very excited as well.
Good lord, this was a while ago, so my notes may not be as substantial as I would like them to be.
We'll come up with shit on our own. It's fine.
Oh, good lord, this was a long time ago. This was... Oh,
the sound of notes being flipped, full of ways to kill us.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh, yay!
This was about 30 sessions ago.
Right.
So she explains to you that this chalk is effectively like a grounding element to prevent something from going where it's not meant to go. Imagine it like a plane shift, but it's keeping her in one place. So she is not allowed to leave if she is encircled with this thing. So if she tries to get out during an exorcism, which is what this is effectively going to be, she won't be able to.
The assistant has made a trap for Wynn.
Effectively. But it was what Clay was recommended by his god in order to exorcise Wynn.
Okay. So, how close are we to the actual sending Wynn on?
You'll have to ask Mr. Clay, because there's a bunch of other things that he needs to have for this ritual to work. From what he told me, there's the chalk is pretty important, and it's really, really hard to make, so that was my job. And then there's a bunch of other stuff, like funeral rites and some flowers and some other things. He knows. I don't.
Right.
But he will be doing the ritual. I just want to see the chalk work.
Okay. Okay. In which case, strange question. Do you have any soul traps laying around?
She pouts a little.
Why?
It's part of the way that I've been able to make Wynn calmer. Using the physical metal chain and an amethyst stone to create a calming effect. The chain allows Wynn to interact with the object, and the crystal itself helps with its crystalline structure. Helps to keep the to take the aggressive emotions and hold on to them. However, it's very temporary. The crystal's already got a crack in it, so I need more, especially if we have an extended period of time where we need to collect some ingredients. I'm going to need to make more of them, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to reuse the chain. I don't particularly want to take it off of her either to use it, because I don't know if there'll be a sudden surge of aggression that's been held back, that's been building up. I'm not sure.
You made something that an incorporeal creature can hold.
I did. Heliodor's just beaming, like, yeah.
She is beaming right back at you, like, absolutely wide-eyed. She's like,
You're a genius.
And Heliodor blushes at that. Well, thank you. I don't... But yes, anyway,
And it's
but yes,
working. It's been working.
it's been working for 2 days now, but I believe the more stimulus she gets, that is threatening or stressful affects how long it will last. So I need more amethyst, or potentially a better calming stone, and I don't know. And experiments are required, but for the moment, I need soul trap chains, or the metal that the soul traps are made out of, to form new chains, and I need more amethyst.
roll me a persuasion check again at advantage.
Yeah! I'm terrible at persuasion things though. Persuasion at advantage. How'd I do?
11, okay.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
So
I mean, but it's about the arcane.
it's... I can't really be giving you I can't give you really dangerous weapons, you know, just...
You know,
You,
wait,
you,
the-
you can
the metal's
understand. You can understand that,
aye,
right?
of course. Is there a requisitions process I can go through?
I think
I can draw up some papers about the experiment. I can make and just goes into a rant about like that whole like process of requisitioning dangerous materials.
I understand that you've been through this a lot before, and I might be able to put you in a good word, and maybe get my hands on something if the administrator lets me.
I don't want the actual soul trap. I just need the metal.
She kind of pulls a face. Wait, give me a sec. Fuck. Okay, she pulls a bit of a face and looks at you.
Everything to do with this sort of stuff goes through the administrator.
Mm-hmm.
And look, between you and me,
Oh gosh, okay.
something's been a bit off recently. And I don't really know what, but she's been a bit stricter than usual with letting us use the things in the vault and like testing them out and doing what we usually do with them. I can try, but something like I'm not implying anything, but I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can.
Thank you. That's greatly appreciated. But I would like to also stress that if the current chain breaks, there's no way to stop her. Unless we have another one.
Okay, so for the ritual, I can get the administrator to let me take one to use for that, but for pulling apart it might be a bit different. So I can get, I might be able to get her to let us have one just at the ritual circle, just in case if something goes wrong. Not that it should, because I've done a really good job.
No.
But
Aye.
if it does go wrong, at least then we have a backup. Okay.
True.
Yeah. But if that's the case, she should not be here. We need to get her outside, just in case.
No, she's fine for the moment.
I don't want to put any of my people at risk.
That's fair.
And they are kind of my people.
Understand. I understand completely.
If you help me talk to Mr. Clay, maybe we can do this ritual soon. Like, now, soon. If he's got all the things that he needs to do it, then...
Would you like... should we go now? Should we go... Do you want to go find Clay now and see what's going on?
Yes.
Right, let's go.
She grabs this jar and just kind of very carefully steps out.
Wait. We don't need to take the explosive with us.
Okay. You're right.
Taking it... Just pop it back in the desk, you know. We don't need to take that into public areas.
She puts it back in the desk and very carefully shuts the desk. And we'll kind of scuttle after you. And the two of you begin hunting after Clay. Where is Clay right now?
Taking a fat shit.
He's taking a fat shit.
Fat shit.
He's sort of browsed through the rooms and like reminded himself when he was here before. And he's found what was his room.
He did have a room.
Is it still his room?
It's still his room, yeah.
Okay, so it's there with its damaged down door and its wardrobe full of tattered clothes that have been eaten into a bit.
Yeah.
There's a plate with a really mouldy plate of cheese on toast.
Aww.
It's just a pile of mold now.
Seems like
Yeah,
it
he's
hasn't
probably-
been much disturbed while you've been gone.
Yeah. He's probably like psyching himself up for things. Wynn's with him, obviously. Maybe making small talk with her, asking her how she feels about what's, if we can get this to work, how's she feeling about it?
She seems relatively indifferent, but you can't tell if that is the effects of the necklace.
Yeah, Claire will spend a moment basically just saying that, like, whatever happens, like, he's sorry for all the things he's caused and that he loves her dearly.
You don't have to be sorry.
I've paid my penance. It's not about punishing, but thank you for hearing that for you.
She does her best to smile at you. And again, it seems a little bit forced, as if like every time she has smiled, it's been a bit like the last time you saw her smile properly was when she was able to wear the necklace. And this feels like she's putting it on as a comfort for you rather than a genuine feeling. Then again, whether or not she still has genuine feelings is unknown. It takes you spend a good sort of 20-30 minutes maybe just sort of talking with her, going through your things, before there is quite a rampant knock at your door.
I mean, we don't need to knock that much, do we?
We want to go, right?
That's true.
You can hear two idiots standing outside your door, like yell, talking at each other because they don't know how to speak in indoor voices.
He walks to open the door. It's a familiar memory, but yeah, he walks over to the door and sort of swings it open.
Ah, wonderful.
What are you fucks up to?
Well, a very abrupt question. Do you have everything you need for the ritual? For when?
No.
No.
No, there's a couple bits I need.
What is it you require?
Oh, the easy one should be fucking simple. Need some lavender.
Oh, okay.
That's the easy fucking shit.
Uh-huh.
Has Clay seen any outside? Does he know if it grows near here?
Yeah, like it's a pretty common flower.
There'll probably be some in the kitchens, honestly.
Maybe. I might call myself just to be fucking sure.
Fair enough.
The chalk was the fucking one of the harder things to get, but from the sounds of things, the administrator's next turn.
Yeah, I made it.
Sounds of things you've found it or made it or done whatever you fucking do with that.
I blew up my lab, and it's so good. I'm so happy with it.
That sounds of it twice. And the other things?
An eye.
An eye? What kind of eye are we talking about?
Yeah, like
Newt?
no, from a fucking Asimov of all things, apparently.
You need an Asimov eye.
Yeah.
I don't remember you telling me that. That's exciting.
I didn't tell
You know, just kind of like looks down to the assistant. Ow, what do you call it?
I mean, it's weird, and I love weird things. That's cool. I like that. It's horrible,
Yeah.
but it's great.
Okay, who do we ask to give us one of their eyes?
We need to double check with. I think Estella might know a thing or two. I don't know where
Okay.
they are, but we might need to ask them a question or two.
I can go do that for you if you'd like to come with us. The assistant is quite enthusiastic to complete this.
More so for the safety of the people here. I know the perfect place to do it.
They just sort of stand there like, alright.
Great.
let's go find Estella then.
You know that place where we set up the trap where you couldn't leave the circle, and then you went and had to go deal with a bunch of undead things.
Yeah, the ARDA recruiting.
The recruitment program, yeah. So I deactivated that. So don't worry about that. It's just kind of a big square now, well, hexagon. But it's like far enough away from ARDA that it's not. If something goes horribly wrong, people won't get hurt.
That's your recruitment process.
Okay, look, no, it's a long story. Okay. And don't worry about it.
Were you the one who came up with that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't.
Yeah, no, I know that now.
Okay.
Yeah, good. I can get rid of that shit.
Yeah, I did. That's why I deactivated it.
Oh, science is
I
trying
think
whatever.
we buried all those fucking corpses.
Oh yeah.
We're wrong till
But it
we're
was
right.
fun though, right? It was fun. It was a bit fun.
Let's find Estella. shall
Okay, let's
we?
go find Estella.
Okay, yeah.
Jesus Christ, this is mad.
He disarms the conversation by leaving before Clay goes on a bend.
She is utterly insane. Like, she's off her rocker. It's fine.
Yeah.
Even if she's not the spy, we should probably just put her down anyway.
Heliodor, as...
Yeah.
Actually, Heliodor and Clay, because the assistant is kind of scurrying ahead of you. I need you both to make me a perception check, please.
Oh, fuck nuggets. I don't think I'm too good at these. Nope, it's a -1.
Oh no.
These.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, we'll take that.
Yeah. Shit. My dwarven eyes, they work.
Oh, it's a ghost dice.
Okay. Alright, Clay, you just see the assistant scurrying off like a tiny little bush on legs, who's running ahead to try and find Estella. Heliodor, I am going to drop something in your whispers.
Oh, okay.
As you kind of turn the corner, as she comes barreling into the room, Estella, you immediately see this big green ball of leaves appear in the room, looking around, pointing at you, going, "You!"
Oh,
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Clay, Mr. Clay wants to talk to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They'll just follow.
I mean, we come round the corner, don't we? In a minute, depending on what secret things I get. Ugh, it's terrifying.
So you are greeted by the assistant, Clay, Wynn, and
Nope.
Heliodor.
Before we go around the corner, Heliodor grabs Clay. No.
Oh, okay.
Clay. She's got. She's got. She's got.
Alright.
She's got a pattern. She's got purple pattern. She's the underside of her leaves.
What, like... Whoop shit.
No, the Harbingers. Wait, is it warp?
It could be warp. Yeah, it looks like warp.
It's warp. It's warp.
Fuck.
The Harbingers, purple and warpy.
Warp is magic. Is anti-magic.
It's anti.
And it's a disease. It's not good.
She's got warp.
That's fucked.
DM.
Did they?
Warp.
Anti-magic. She makes magical items
Yes.
and things. If she makes something and she has warp, Does that mean it's infected with warp?
Not necessarily. If she has imbued it with magic herself using her own magic, it could be. There is a chance. If it is a crafted item that is inherently magical, no, that would not. It would not cause.
From her explanation of it, do
Yes.
I know if she's imbued it with magic or if it's a magically inherently crafted magical item?
From what you've had explained to you, it is inherently magical crafted item.
Okay. Okay.
Especially if it has gone wrong multiple times.
Okay. Just be, and just requiring just a little more context as well. Warp can be passed on to people, right?
Yes.
By casting magic at them, or by being in proximity.
It is blood transfer, or like constant contact with that person, like physical contact.
Okay. Heliodor's will just be like, don't touch her for long. If you do, and Heliodor just keeps getting flashes of of things in his brain, like the albino one, and just like, oh,
Rosmanus.
God, Rosmanus.
Rosmanus is very far gone with their warp.
Yeah. But and Heliodor comes around the corner, and keeps like a 2 meter distance.
Okay. You COVID distancing away from her. Okay, cool. I will reiterate to Clay and Estella. Zelios told you before she had warp. It has been mentioned to you before, but if it's now visible, it's worse.
Okay, that's the sort of thing that I'm just gonna say Clay forgot.
Yeah, fair.
Fuck. Maybe Estella remembers, but yeah, Clay forgot. They've done a lot on this play, right? Kitty cats.
And I guess we'll come
Friends.
round the corner. Hi, Estella.
Hi.
We have a question for you about eyeballs.
Eyeballs, yes.
Mm.
We got an eyeball in the shop.
An
Yeah,
An asthma
yeah.
eyeball?
Yeah.
Oh, shit! Okay. But that's another ingredient down. Where did you
Maybe.
get... How did you buy an Asmoth eye?
Lazarus.
Yeah, it was probably fucking
Oh,
loud.
okay.
Oh, for
I hope you didn't.
fuck's sake.
I hope you didn't trade something. Actually, what the fuck did you trade for it?
What did we trade?
You and Sadia,
What
was
did
it?
you trade,
Got the
Estella?
eye.
Yeah, what's an eyeball worth?
I believe that Sadia traded something. I cannot remember
Yeah.
off the top of my head what.
Alright, well, that's their problem then.
Well,
Not
okay.
Not in this book.
Sadia traded
Okay.
something with the merchant. The merchant gave you one
Yeah.
of 3 options of Asmoth eyes that he had in stock.
I know it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, one of them was likely to be Miris's or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of them was very, very likely to be his. You didn't pick that one. You picked a different one.
So
I'd like to clarify, I was not involved in this decision at all.
You got like
If it were me, I would have chosen Miris's. But alas, and no one told him.
So this eyeball would be able to use it for the ritual, please?
I think so.
Probably not. Probably worth shit to us. I mean, I don't know what Stadia traded for it. It's probably worth some shit, but I don't think it'd be useful for us.
What you
So-
need it for the ritual?
But not
It's
like
quite
a.
useful.
You wouldn't say you wouldn't say I. Play's like, yeah, we need a fucking eye for the ritual, but it's gotta be one given.
One given.
What do you mean
I
given?
don't know how the fucking magic works, but I gotta be given an eye.
Oh,
Not like-
Stella,
Okay,
could you
well, so the
hand
gift
the
is-
eye over? Could you hand the eye over to Clay, please?
I'm pretty sure it's in a bag of holding.
Wait,
Oh,
can you? Hey, Dracera,
Yeah.
can you hand the eye over to Clay, please?
She's gonna give a sigh and then reach into the bag of holding, take out the eye. Is it in a jar at least?
Yes, it's in a jar.
Brilliant. I'm gonna say,
free
if
ball
there
eye.
are any discrepancies, Clay, I am giving you this Azimuth eye.
He takes it
You have been given the eye.
and waits a minute, like,
Nothing happens. It's just
Alright.
you are holding an eye.
You were given an eye.
Zachary from across the room is staring at you in horror.
oi! Jordan.
Alright, okay, yeah, sorry. Verv, are you seeing this? And Verv says, I don't see very much.
Sorry, who?
Zachary is stood next to a small, tan-skinned, looking Azimuth with gold patterns across their face, very, very long, like, bushy, brown-red hair, and they are staring at the floor whilst Zach is talking to them, and Zach is kind of like, but are you seeing this, though? And they're like, Zachary, for the last time, I don't see very much.
And Clay like takes the moment and like sort of walks over. Fucking Verve.
Verv looks up, and then immediately looks at Wynn. Oh. Oh, no. Hello, Clay. I hear that you're well. What has happened to her?
Fucking Verve. And he'll go over and sort of like give him the hug. Like, it's been. When the fuck did you come here?
Oh, you're skinny.
Yeah, I know. Why the fuck did you get here?
I got here because Zachary is my protection. I came to
Alright.
see you initially, and then suddenly you vanished, and I have not known where you have been since.
Yeah, I got fucked off to middle of
Another
nowhere.
plane of... I don't know, they explained this
Yeah,
very
some-
strangely to me, yeah?
Some bullshit like that. Some other a not here place. I don't. Some
I-
bullshit like a hell type shit. Fucking. What? Yeah. It's good to see you, mate.
It's good to see you too. Well, see.
Yeah, I know. Look, Wynn is hoping to try and get us sorted. You know, he's meeting his gaze to Wynn. I'm gonna try and get us sorted as soon as I can. We got fucking short after God knows how long. Gods know how long.
What are you going to do to her?
Put us to rest. Of the whole point of being here.
Okay, and
Actually, then it's-
he looks at Wynn, with this very concerned expression, and mutters, "Is it too late already?
I don't know what he said.
Is it too late already?"
I'm fucking hoping not. She's out the trap for now. Someone found a way to calm her for the time being. Hopefully that will tide her over for a few days. I need to get her gone. I need to get her some peace, an end to this fucking shit show.
What do you need?
I think we got everything I need. got assistant did the chalk shit, and he sort of like she still has the jar, doesn't she?
You put it back in the
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, assistant apparently figured out the chalk shit after fuck knows how long. It feels like it's been fucking years. We can get. I've got most of the other shit. We can get most of the shit. Last thing is, and he's looking at the jar in his hand,
Mm.
an eye, fucking Asmoth eye, which is fucking. It's just peeking it. Of course it would be.
There's a dull pause. I'm honestly not very surprised that that is a part of this kind of ritual.
Really?
Well, we have a special connection to the land of the dead. It makes sense
Yeah, no
that
shit. You see him.
we would need something like that to be able to keep her in one place, I suppose, or make sure that she's visible to everyone, and if she is not already, I can kind of tell she is already. That concerns me.
What, the eye, or what you see about her? What do you see on her?
Well, what I see, I'm sure you can see her too, right?
Yeah, she's. Her token's not there, but she's. Yeah, I see her.
The best way I can describe it is like the inside of her is as bright as a star. She looks like she's about to explode.
Oh.
Is that like? How different is that from the last time you saw her?
I have never seen her like this.
What about like before you found me that soul trap?
It was a glimmer then. It was just light. Now it is so bright it is hard to look at her.
Let's still. I need to do this. I need to get her sent off. Put an end to this fucking shit.
There's again another pause, and he takes one of your hands. I can give you what you need.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how fucking magic works. I don't know how this ritual shit works. We have Estella and Celia. Apparently, they got some kind of. It wasn't not my idea, but they found some kind of black market eye.
There's another
And
kind of frown of concern.
Yeah, it wasn't my fucking idea. I wasn't there. I haven't been in this fucking realm for who knows God knows how.
Serious idea.
We'll blame everyone else.
Serious idea.
Sadie is
Of course it was
dead,
her
bro.
idea. Now she's dead.
Let me at
But
least then come with you.
I don't know. I don't know how magic works. I don't know which would work. I fuck this shit up whenever I
Clay.
try it.
It's going to be okay.
I don't want to have to ask anything of you. If this, and he doesn't rattle it, but he's got the jar and sort of like almost like presses it into Verve's hand so Verve can hold the jar as well, I guess. In case
Yeah.
that does anything. If this works, then I fucking hope we can get something for this to work. Because I don't want to have to ask you any more favors. I don't know how much I fucking owe you at this point. And I'm good for it, but I don't.
You don't owe me anything.
Of course I fucking owe you shit.
Clay, the things that I did for you, I did because I wanted to. I wanted to help you. I wanted to help Wynn. And I will continue to do that, and I don't care if I have to give up a part of myself to help you. It's not like I'm using them very much anyway.
I wouldn't.
Look, I'm
That's.
getting old, Clay. There's only so much time left, you know? May as well make use of it.
You always fucking make use of it, mate.
I
Thank you.
will
then
come
he'll-
with you,
he'll-
okay?
He'll hug Verve.
Verve hugs you back tightly.
Yeah. Proper tight hug.
You are only deserving of good things, Clay.
Thank you, Verve.
Um,
And then does that thing where he sort of tries to regain some composure and like go back to macho man. Sort of taps him on the back. Let's get this shit done if we can.
just tell me where to go, and I'm sure either you can guide me or Zachary can come with you if you don't mind them being there. And Zach is stood next to you, kind of watching this entire thing happen, and Zach's like, "Yeah, I can help."
DM.
Yep.
Just a quick question about what Verve can see in the background when looking towards Thumb.
Oh,
Because when we had special potions,
You roll me a perception check. You know what, insight. Roll me an insight. That's more on it.
that's been rolling around in my brain during this whole conversation. I'm just like, what? Well, nope. Nope. Yeah, no, that's just fine with it. Cool.
You're looking at Verve with that roll. You'd assume that Verve would have freaked out if they had seen what you had seen.
Hmm.
Doesn't look like Verve's got true sight.
Okay. Slowly I understand Asmoths more. Anyway. Assistant, can you go get some lavender from the kitchens or something, please?
I'll get some. I'll get some.
Yeah? Oh, okay, cool.
I'm gonna go get the chalk, and I'll meet you outside, and then we're gonna go to that place. Is everyone? Where's Kree?
I will go and find Kree.
Good. Okay, yeah. Go find him, and then meet us outside, and then we'll go to the place, and then we'll do the thing. It's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
I can't wait to see this work. I'm so excited.
And she sprints off.
And as soon as she sprints off, Heliodor turns to the group and goes, "She's got warp.
I'm sorry.
Warp. She's got warp."
Yeah, it's kind of fucked, isn't it?
What you saw the markings.
Mm-hmm. On the
And
other
you've
side
been
of the
let us
leaf.
know she's been standing here the entire time.
She's been a few meters apart. Like,
We all touched her.
I know.
We touched Elios. That was fine, right?
How do you get rid of it? And
You don't get rid of it. Oh gosh, what are we gonna do?
How do you test yourself for it?
Does
You
my
can only
divine
see the-
sense pick it up?
Your divine sense would not pick it up? Question mark. I don't think it would. No.
You could,
Well,
you could only
from,
see.
You picked it up
hammer
from
before.
Brandy's hammer was necrotic magic. That's why.
Mm.
Wait. So, necrotic things pick it up? What?
So you
Your divine
she used
sense.
divine sense, and you sent something, and it was the hammer, not Brandy.
Right.
So it wasn't like Brandy had didn't have warp, but Zelios did, and every time you used it, Zelios didn't come up. At least
Okay.
that's what I remember. I might be bullshitting.
So how do you test for warp?
You see the purple patterns.
Heliodor's just gonna cast a cantrip, just like. "Ruh." Any purple? Any purple?
Cantrip.
You don't see any purple? No.
Okay.
Drusura's gonna start looking at everyone's visible skin, just like pulling at their neck and everything, and
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Oh
no.
Ah! Can Heliodor investigate?
You can roll me an investigation if you'd like.
I would
Dracera,
like to
you're like looking
investigate.
at everyone else. You can't see any patterns on anyone. You know what warp looks like, and you're not seeing anything that you see.
Yay!
What are you investigating, yourself or someone else?
I'm investigating. I'm basically doing what Dracera's doing. I'm investigating everybody's bodies, just like where the fuck do you have where?
Doesn't look
Looking
like
for the
it.
purple
No.
patterns. Oh, okay. Cool. Everyone looks fine. Let's just keep distant. I'm going to go and find Karif
Are we
now.
gonna let her know that we know?
Kaba,
I mean, she's got to know at this point.
potentially. I'm gonna go and find Karif. Thankfully the chalk isn't infected. She's not imbued it with magic. She's made it, so it should be fine. I will have a little check over it before we begin, though, just to be sure. I'm going to go find Kree. Do we need to tell the administrator about this?
I'm going to talk to her first.
Okay. Heliodor goes to look for Kree.
Okay, you go running off to find Karee. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. So we'll be back shortly in like 10-15 minutes. We will be back in a bit. See you in a moment.
Right.
Oh golly. Oh, the kebab man. Alright, welcome back. Can't escape him. Right, so we meet you back in the corridor as you have been observing each other, making sure that no one has contracted warp from your contacts with the assistant. Karik has been carried out of his room effectively by Heliodor and dragged out saying, we're going somewhere and we need you. Panic screaming.
I'm busy stewing in my emotions. What are you doing?
We've got more emotions to ruin. Come on.
Oh fuck! No!
No!
Not again!
So you all kind of conglomerate in the hallway. The assistant arrives slowly with this jar that is padded out, and she presents it to you, just kind of holding it out to show it off. You can see this kind of faint, dull green glow from inside the jar, and she is grinning.
Let's keep a wide berth from the potential explosive.
Yes. Don't worry, I've handled it before. It has exploded on me, and that was fine. I lost a few leaves, but I'm okay.
Okay.
Is that why leaves are of no style? It look good on you.
Thank you.
And she'll walk ahead of you to lead the party. I think I might need to add a few people to this, but I don't own any token bit. Oh god damn it, not again.
What?
Can you guys see that map?
No.
Okay.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Give me a second. Oh, it's set to GM only. That's why. All right. I should reconfigure it. Configure all players. Show navigation. Lighting. Save changes. There you go.
Hey!
I managed to fix it from last time. So Verve is also with you, and the assistant is also with you. So give me a
Is
second.
Zachary with us as well?
If you want Zach to be there, Zach will have escorted Verve, but if Clay wants to just escort Verve on their own, you can just have Verve as you escorted with you, if you prefer that.
That's fine.
He would have brought Zach and told him that if shit goes south, get Verve out. And it probably won't go south, but just in case shit goes south.
Just in
Verve out
case.
of there.
Okay, I will pop Zach in the scene as well. There is Zachary.
I love that. Zach with the broken leg. Get him out fast.
Oh wait, you got
Yeah, he's still got a broken leg.
Alright, Cars would have said to bring him, Clay would not, so he wouldn't come then.
Okay, so Zach
Yep.
is out of the scene. Okay.
So is that.
Rip.
Verve doesn't have to outrun Wynn, she just has to outrun you.
Okay. So the assistant will turn to the party, at least like a handful of you, and kind of smile and say, "Brings back memories, doesn't it?"
Yeah.
Is this
Just
where...
Sarah didn't do this, did she?
No.
No.
No, this is where they met, because this is where I tried to recruit them.
And this
Oh.
is where Big Moth Lady made me blind.
Yeah, that sounds
Like-
about right.
Cast
Okay,
blindness
sure,
definition on you.
Sprinting through the woods for 2 minutes straight, screaming while blind.
Ah. Well, that's delightful. Okay.
Good memories.
Sure.
Okay. So, Clay, I think you're the one that knows how to do this, right? Do you just have to kind of tell me what to do and I'll do it? She's
Yeah,
gonna
I've got a
pop the top off of the jar.
fucking idea. And you try and remember as best he can from... He's probably got some like very primitive notes that he scored in the back of the book he reads. It's pretty... You know, it's like a 5-year-old wrote in it, but it's fine. You can mostly understand what he was trying to say. En route, was Clay... Is there any lavender nearby Clay can see?
Roll me a survival check.
Didn't we get lavender for the kitchen already?
Clay wanted to get it didn't know if it helped if he was the one who got it, so
Oh, right, I get you.
he doesn't know how magic works, so maybe I need to be the one to.
Do you
Doesn't know how
want
to say
Frank-
please.
Yeah, help from Creek would be,
Yep,
And
yeah,
start.
take that with advantage then.
and I'll do the stupid 1d4
Guidance.
bonus. Yeah, thank you.
Oof,
Wow.
so nearly.
Oh, wow.
60.
Nice, okay. I'd say with the 16, yep. You're able to gather like quite a sizable bundle of lavender.
Don't know how much you'll need, so take it, I guess.
I understand that, Dracera.
I don't.
So you remember quite clearly the vivid image that Entom provided you when you first saw Entom's guidance, and you're able to direct the assistant and the rest of the party quite clearly as to where certain things need to be and where certain people need to stand. And you all kind of... The assistant stands back and says, you know, this isn't my jurisdiction. I'm not... This is your family, and I'm not really a part of that, so I'll just sit and wait, and I can get Verve out unless you want Verve in there with you.
Was Verve in the...
Verve was in the
space?
circle with you when you saw the vision.
Yeah, we'll get Verve in here too.
Okay.
Why is this place so small? Oops, fuck. Okay, I just whacked my PC, so if I disconnect, that's
Oh, fantastic. So,
fine.
the assistant will stand with Mare. Because she's interested in Mare and will just sit and stare at him. But...
Heliodor will instruct Mare to sit down and open up a maintenance panel. And Heliodor will be like, "Go ham, just don't break anything."
It's just like handing a crayon book to a child.
You just hear like squealing and absolute joy as you leave her to kind of poke around after she'd
Dracera kind of
finished.
gives him a look of uncertainty for the fact he's done that.
And Heliodor just goes, "She literally doesn't know how it works, and never will. Never will. The maintenance panels for the lights."
And she like points to the neck of like. It's got a good thing.
Ah! Oh.
She's already like elbow deep in Mare.
Disinfect it with some alcohol.
Oh no.
Oh
When
no.
will you learn? When will you learn?
I
Never
work.
too shallow.
Cool. So, he's got that. He's got some lavender. He isn't super sure what to do with it, so he'll, in the same book, he'll sort of put it between some of the pages. That sounds...
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, that's
That is about right. You're kind of half winging it and half
fine. It's
going off of the image that you were presented with. Wynn kind of floats in the center of the circle and just kind of stares at you as you're plucking these things in.
And between the pages of this book. So, alright, he's got that. He'll put that to one side. And he's got the jar with the chalk in it. Guidance himself, and then try and take it out.
Okay, roll me a sleight of hand.
Should be good at this.
You
This
should
is
be
also
good at
play.
this.
Yeah, but the player has a habit of rolling really bad for things that he should be good at. You know what? He doesn't actually have good proficiency in it.
Does he not?
No, I built my points in athletics, I guess.
Fucking hell. Strength-based rogue.
No.
Aw.
Strength-based rogue.
Yeah, that's too meta. He wouldn't have done that. It's fine. Okay. Give himself thingamajig.
D4.
Yep. D4.
Yeah.
Oh, nat 20.
All right, that works. That works.
Okay, so you remember this image vividly in your mind of what the circle looked like, the intricate runes that were painted out across the floor. You begin to sort of pull it out, pinched gently between your hands as steady as they possibly can be. Wyn watching you as you very carefully sort of move around the circle to where everyone is stood, begin to draw these patterns down. And it is a long silence whilst you listen to the wind and the rustle of leaves around you. And once the circle is drawn, it is this beautifully intricate green pattern carved into the stone. Begins to light up in colour. And you begin to feel like the air around you gets heavy. You step back into the position that you were expecting. Who is drawing that?
I was trying to draw a thing, but I had to change the colour. Well, no, it's fine. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
loud music.
I'll sketch that out. So, for reference for you guys, the hexagon is about the size of the circle. So where you are stood are the borders of the circle. Thumb is taking up one of the corners. Thumb will stand. Thumb will stand here. So it's all even. And Wyn sort of floats in the center of it before she is pulled down and her feet touch the ground. And she is stood. She usually can't do that. And she is looking at you.
Okay. He's looking back at her. He's got the book in one hand. And he's got the jar with the eye in it. And he doesn't know if that's going to work or not. Does he remember what he had to do with the jar? The eye sign?
You have kind of laid out the bits and pieces that you've needed to based around the circle.
Okay.
So the jar is currently kind of sat in one of the runic circles around on the floor. Wyn begins to twitch. It looks almost as if she is uncomfortable. And she looks at you.
I don't like this.
Just focus on me, baby. You ever seen? He's gonna hope that the eye works. He's got. And he's trying to take out a slightly different little book, just like a little note thing. Clear his throat. And he'll begin reading funeral rites, as taught to him of elven culture. Renew the face of this planet. Gather yourself to yourself, Wyndael, for whom we have loved, and grant them those things, which eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, nor the heart imagined. Watch over each other this day and all days. Give us the strength to accept what is past, to appreciate what is present and to look forward to good in our future. Grant us peace, sacred moments of communion with the universe, and faith in whatever most expresses our deepest inner truth. Bless us, heal one another, breathe peace and grace into those left behind.
As you read these rites slowly, it's like reading isn't your forte. It does take a little bit of time, but it is smooth and gentle. The rest of you are watching Wynn, and you're watching her slowly sort of twist out of shape. Like she's juttering in place as if she is being pulled at from different angles. She looks round to each of you, one by one. We are going to do a skill challenge. I would like each of you to contribute something to this ritual. You cannot do the same thing as someone else. So, for example, you can say something to her and it will be like a persuasion check, but then no one else can do a persuasion check. You can try and offer something to her and do a deception if you would like to. You can try and use magic and do an arcana, whatever you would like to contribute to help Clay. We'll go through one by one who would like to go first.
What's everyone's strong points?
Intelligence.
Survival.
Mine's charisma.
Arcana. I mean performance, but I'm not gonna dance in front of her. So.
You could sing her a lullaby.
Yeah,
you can't sing her.
I could quite.
You could do play a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play something for her.
Yeah, mine is Arcana.
Okay. Yeah. So that's.
I'll do persuasion.
Look, my two best are probably perception and survival, but I'm not exactly sure the best way you could even use those would be.
I mean, perception you could probably use to see if anything we're doing is helping.
Yeah.
You could always gift her something.
You can always help someone else. But it will make the DC harder because there's less of you doing it.
Right. Or
Would Clay need to do something as well, or
Clay, I'd say you have already done your part.
Fuck. Touch. Okay. Heliodor would like to go first.
Right, start us off. What are you doing?
Oof. God. Heliodor kind of stands at the edge of the circle. When it has been a pleasure. And Heliodor begins to cast and says, I hope this makes you feel more comfortable, and casts Aura Vitality, which should encompass her. But
Okay.
is basically trying to focus it towards her, to give her a sense of calm.
Okay.
It's a healing spell, but
Ooh, yum. Okay. Roll me an Arcana check.
oh, this better go well. Arcana normal, go. Okay, nice.
You watch for a moment as the twitching subsides, as if she kind of takes a breath, and she stares at you. And there's this this weirdly human look on her face. Every time you have looked at her until now, she has been this husk of a person, and now she's looking at you like a scared kid. But there's this look of, thank you, like, relief. There's a gentle relief to it, as if you've taken some of the weight off of her. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I'm going to use persuasion. After the aura of vitality is cast, she's going to start speaking to Wyn. Wyn, honey, you've been fighting for so long, for so hard. Now it's time to move on, to let go and be at peace. And Clay will always be with you. Should I roll?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Okay. You watch her look over towards you.
Don't leave Clay.
And she wrenches to the side. But she looks like she's trying to let go. The way that she's holding her hands, as disfigured as her figure is, she's kind of clasping and unclasping her fists as if she's trying to release this tension, as if she's trying to do what you're asking of her.
Scared. I'm scared. I'm scared.
I know it's scary. I know. But it will be okay. Just hold on for us, alright?
Who's up next?
I can go.
Go for it.
I don't know if they can cast message on Wyn.
You can't.
Okay, well, they're just gonna have to sign. Well, I mean, they know sign anyway. Your father loves you very much, Wyn. He's tried so hard. And I think you know that. He's very grateful to have you, and I'm sure you'll be very grateful to have him. I just hope that you get to finally live in peace. And they're gonna bring out their violin. My mother used to play this to me to calm me down. And they're gonna play, and performance.
Good God. Okay. You begin to play this beautiful tune, and the air around you, with how heavy and still it is bathed in this gentle melody. The violin cutting off any other sound. It seems to isolate everything. And you watch her close her eyes as she kind of sinks down onto her knees. Not quite as fast as a body should fall, but she gently touches the floor, places her hands against the stone.
I can hear it.
They'll continue playing.
Kari?
I'm still trying to think what you can contribute to this, because I really don't know how you could put in one of his abilities, if that makes sense.
What skills do
Bible,
you have?
right?
Survival.
Yeah, you could always talk about survival and
you can-
carrying on.
Yeah.
You could quickly go into the forest for like a second and grab a bunch of flowers. Like go and survival grab flowers and be like for your journey or something.
I'd allow it.
You know, that's actually a pretty good one. One sec. I'll have him. Is there anyone else who can quickly go before him so I can quickly think out to word this?
You are the last person. Thumb could. Well, you know what? Thumb. Here we go. Okay, Thumb will
What's
contribute.
his best thing?
Performance.
Yeah.
You can't do performance.
You could do.
It is
medicine?
performance. Yeah, it's medicine and performance.
Silence.
But like if performance could do like a knife throwing trick instead.
But he can't do performance because
Stella's done performance. Okay,
Yeah.
so Thumb is going to sign to win. This is to help fix you. And kind of gestures. There are things missing, parts of you missing. This will bring you together. I can help. I can help. And I'm gonna make them roll medicine. Thumb tried, at the very least. Bless him very much. Wyn does not seem to notice Thumb.
Little baby tried.
If I'm to stab a chair.
I can roll for Verve if you'd like me to.
How can Verve contribute?
That's for you to see if you'd like me to.
Verve can see Win in a way no one else can.
Yeah.
Any perception and bit.
Could insight.
All that.
Ooh. Yeah.
So, okay. Verve will contribute by effectively performing a basic sort of runic sigil of magic, of which kind of they pull around the face and pull forward, and they say, "You don't have to stay like this anymore. You've worked hard enough, and Clay will be safe without you." They are going to try and roll insight. Oh, yummy.
Oh hell yeah.
And Wyn looks at Verve, and it's one of the few times where Verve has the opportunity to look someone in the eye. And there's no words between the two of them. There doesn't need to be. Not at this point. Wyn's eyes well with tears. She bites her lip, looks at the floor, but her tears don't fall. They just sort of float off and dissipate into nothingness. She clasps at the joints that have been severed that are ethereally floating between each other. She grasps at the holes in her arms and her legs and across where her neck should connect her head to her body. And she curls up. This little ball of blue light in the center of this circle. Karek, what are you contributing?
Okay, I'll say it'd probably be easy saying before they actually made the circle, you ran off and grabbed the
Yeah, so I'll allow that. So roll
you
me
son
a...
of a bitch. But it's a 14. There's a 2, but it's a 14.
Okay. You went out into the woods.
say
Prior
you-
to doing the ritual.
And he's went to find probably mainly flowers again. He's going around looking for probably the prettiest flowers he can, and at the same time, say other plant life that might be, say, essential for a little bit for his stealth, a little bit at the same time for for the world itself, like say the kind of plant life that maybe produces more oxygen or other kind of necessities to nature.
Okay.
He brings them back, and I'll say he'll set them down ahead of him. I have found these as precious to the world as you were to us, to Clay. As essential as these beings themselves are to the way of the natural world, you are to us, and especially to Clay.
All of you watch as Wynn's figure sort of seems to just get smaller. She seems to just be really quite small, dwarfed in the middle of this circle. Before each aspect of the offerings that were presented, so the lavender, some of the chalk even, as it kind of begins to burn away into the grass, the book that you have read to her every night, despite the fact that she has been in the soul trap, begin to burn. They light up with this light green blue fire, and Verve begins to curl up.
Verve?
They grab their head and they are biting their lip. The eye in the jar is not moving. Nothing is happening to it.
Good. Fuck.
And you listen to this squeal of discomfort before Verve starts screaming, and they collapse onto their knees. The chalk of the circle wobbles.
Okay.
Fuck.
No,
Fuck. Fuck.
the eye isn't right. Shit.
That is not fucking right.
Assistant, you need to grab Verve.
Verve. Can you hear? Can you hear?
She gets over to Verve. Verve is incapacitated. And she puts a hand towards them, and it is pushed back. It's almost like like the mirage of heat. It's just this invisible wave forces her hands back. She takes a step back and says, "I can't get close to him."
Mayor, get him.
We'll attempt to.
Uh-huh.
Hey, let's have a look. That is...
Fuck.
Mare cannot get close to him.
I'm gonna cast Trance State on him.
Okay. He will willingly fail that save. You watch as Verve kind of slumps, the hand released from the eye, and there is just this smear of red across his hand.
It's taking the eye.
And the eye is gone. He's got an empty socket. And they are just sort of blankly looking at the floor. The other eye is usually quite bright yellow, is dulled and hazed with a blue sheen from the magic that Dracera has placed upon them.
Heliodor goes over and grabs the eye.
Is it in his hand?
It's gone.
Or it's just
Oh, fuck.
All of you hear a whisper of a voice. Distantly, you don't know where from, sourceless, that says, "Kill the curse that plagues this spirit. what ties them to this plane must be banished for their soul to be freed. And Wynn ripples before she sort of doubles, triples in size. And she suddenly lights up in screaming rage. And that's where we're going to end the session.
No! Did you say curse?
Curse, yes.
Do not. I have just taken a spell.
Well, we'll have to do it next session.
No fucking way.
So, we'll see how that goes.
Can I ask a question quickly?
Wait.
Sure.
Unironically.
Just because I feel shit for rolling a 2 just then, is it partially the fact about the numbers rule?
No.
Or is right? Okay,
You succeeded on that aspect. It's the fact that one of the
Right.
components was wrong.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm not even gonna lie. Look at my D&D and Beyond.
I know, you've got fucking... You've taken fucking remove curse, haven't you?
Yes!
Honestly, took it when I was looking through the spells. I was like, oh no, I need another utility spell.
Well, we'll deal with the effects of that next session, because I'm gonna have to fucking wheedle my way around that.
remove curse. We are finished.
No, no, I did it again.
Oh, wee.
I wanted to mention it before you said it was bullshit.
Oh, amazing.
Oh my god.
Oh, that should have been the offering. You just remove curse.
I'm not allowed nice things, am I? Thank you for coming to this session this week. We will hopefully be running at the same time next week, and we will come to the end of Clay's arc that we've been working towards for such a long time. And it's going to be banging, so please do come, and we'll see you there next week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.